It's your girl, Ramona, coming back, coaching 562, raw and authentic. What you see is what you get. Um, Guys, I know you're tired of this sweatshirt, but I'm not tired of it. I love it. It's one of those days. It's a nice Saturday here in Texas. It's really, really chilly. So I revert back to my sweatshirt. And it's been a day. I haven't left my house today but once, and that was for a short period of time. So it's one of those lazy Saturdays. And I realized that I had not posted in a long time. So I'm excited to be back on today and posting with you guys and sharing some of my intimate thoughts that kind of go on in my head and some of my own personal things that I work through. And I hope that in me sharing that you get to work through some of yours as well. So I'm going to get right into what I've been thinking lately. Y'all know it's like so much is always going on in my head. My head rumbles. Not rumbles. That's more like my stomach rumbling. No, but my head is like in 5,000 different places all the time. But lately, I've just been on my own personal journey and focusing on loving people more and judging less. Let me say that again. Love more, judge less. And in that quest to love more and judge less, I constantly ask myself, why? So that's the biggest question that I've been kind of dealing with lately, even with some of my clients. My question is always, why? And the funny thing about whys is that sometimes we always try to find out somebody else's why when we don't focus on our why. And that's why the judge less, love more is because I've come to a conclusion. I don't know anybody's story. I don't know why people do the things that they do. And instead of me making judgment on them, I just love the parts of them or love them in my experience with them. I try to look at them in a loving manner because it's easy to say what you wouldn't do, or if you were somebody, what you would do, not being in that situation. So that's my focus. We won't always agree with everything somebody does, but nobody's gonna always agree on what I do. So I've come to the term of just loving more and judging less, and I think it puts me in a better space, and I guarantee you it might put you in a better space as well. Because sometimes we can be really quick to judge others, but then when the tables turn, we get really into our feelings about somebody judging us. So I'm just trying to be mindful of how I feel and the energy that I don't want projected on me. I have to really think that I don't want that same energy. I don't want to project the energy that I don't want. I don't want to project it onto anybody else. So that's kind of where I'm at. But I also want you guys to really focus on your why and not anybody else's why. Everybody has their own story. And you really have to delve into your own story. And for me, the why is, lately I've been really thinking about the why. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Am I doing it for people? Am I doing it for self? Or am I doing it to serve the purpose in which I was put here to serve? So it gets really, really tricky when we start talking about the why. So those are the three things that I've really been focusing. I'm going to touch on each a little bit. So the first one is why. When I think about why, am I doing this for people? I always ask myself, why am I doing this? And the reason I say that because throughout these 39 years, a lot of things that I did do were for other people. And I know it's important that we protect our reputation and that we do those things in the light. And we all want a positive light in which everybody sees us. And I totally get that and I totally understand that. But my experience is if you're doing it for somebody else and to portray an image, is it authentic? Is it real? And guys, if you're doing it for other people, just that quick is temporary. we can be loved today and hated tomorrow, all based on the things that we're doing for other people. So I'm kind of really trying to let that go. And sometimes, we still can go to that place. But you have to ask yourself, am I doing this for other people? What's the sole purpose of the reason that I'm doing, or the reason that I'm posting? Am I posting to promote my business? Am I posting because I want people to see how successful I am? Am I posting because I want everybody to know, I made it. Look at your girl. She made it. She's doing her thing. So, ask yourself why. And if it's for people, I've had to reevaluate. When I say for people, I've had to reevaluate what that was. Is it to help someone, or is it to show people that I'm successful? So you have to ask yourself that. Why am I posting? Am I posting this information to be a blessing, or to help, or to be a benefit to someone else? Or am I posting this information just to boast? And the reason I say that, because things I posted, sometimes we deal with our own insecurities, and we all want to be validated. I've been there, and I'm not going to say that I won't ever be there, because I'm human. And that's what I want you guys to know, that you are human. But always ask myself, why am I doing what I'm doing? And the next one that I go into is self. And I talk about self-love and the importance of knowing who you are and respecting yourself and loving yourself. I believe wholeheartedly in that. But I also feel in self, there's still a balance. Because I have to ask myself, am I doing this for my own gratification, for my own glory? And guys, sometimes that can get real sticky, and sometimes we can think that we're not, but maybe sometimes we're human. We may get in that gray space. But I don't want you guys to confuse that with having love for yourself and being proud of yourself, because I want you to have love for you. I want you to love everything about yourself and love who you are. But when we do the things that we're doing, are we doing them for self? And it's several different layers to that. Am I doing because I know this is what my soul needs and this is what my peace needs? But am I doing this for self-gratification? It gets really tricky when we can get into the whole self-gratification thing. But most importantly, when you do things for self, I don't want you to think that you can't do things for yourself, because you need to pamper yourself. You need to be your own cheerleader. You need to sometimes inspire and motivate yourself. We've all been there, and I'm pretty sure at some point we'll all be there again. What I'm saying is it done selfishly, and are you doing something to still portray an image for other people? And I've been dealing with that a lot lately. I've been minimizing a lot, getting rid of a lot of materialistic things, which have a love for shoes. I buy shoes and don't even wear them. I'm like, oh, this is so, I gotta have it, and I just don't want to put it down. And guys, I've been working really, really hard on that. It's just, I just don't want to be so indulged in me. Now, it's a different self-love than just over the top and just being self-indulged and all those other things that maybe I don't need to be self-indulged in all the time. But the next one is, why am I doing what I'm doing? Is it for a purpose? Is it for something special? And that's one of the things that I think all of us, I talk all the time about purpose, and I believe that purpose is ever evolving. I believe that you have several purposes, and that's something that I constantly am, dealing with myself. But just asking myself, why am I doing this? What's the benefit that this is going to have on somebody else's life? How am I effective? And I think I'm in a place, I'm not going to lie to you guys and say I'm in that space all the time, because let's be realistic. I'm a realistic coach. I'm not going to tell you anything that I don't go through, that I'm not thinking sometimes myself. You got to be realistic. And guys, just because I'm a coach does not mean that I'm perfect. By far, I'm not perfect. And I think when we look to coaches for perfection, guys, we're not perfect and we're not going to be perfect, but we are constantly seeking on ways to improve ourselves and ways to help our clients be better versions of themselves. So I don't want you guys to, and that's why I say raw and authentic, because I'm real. I very seldom come to you face made up. Don't get me wrong. I see some sisters and their faces are slayed and they are gorgeous. But I'm not she is not me. And I've accepted the realization that I'm Ramona and it's okay with my thin eyebrows and my nun makeup face. I'm Ramona. But nonetheless, I'm Ramona and I enjoy and I love being Ramona and I love being authentically me, raw and all. So I just want you guys to be in that space. Ask yourselves why. And I'm not saying that every why has to be, oh my goodness, how do I affect the humanity? I'm not saying we have to be in that space all the time. But I am saying is that ask yourself why. Why am I doing this? Am I doing this to benefit others? Am I doing this because I am in a space where I'm seeking validation today? Am I doing this because it's part of my purpose? And I think sometimes when we ask ourselves those whys, it may prompt us to do some things differently. I'm not saying, and I want you guys to be clear on this. When you make accomplishments, that's important and that's major. And that's something that you worked really, really hard on. And if you want to share that on social media, do that because you're excited and you're happy that you made that milestone, and that's to be celebrated. And when your friends are out there and they're celebrating you as well. So I'm not saying don't do that, but I'm saying think about the purpose behind the things that you post and why you post them, or the things that you say to others and why you say them. I just want you guys to just be mindful of your why. I'm not saying that you can't do things for yourself sometimes, because you're going to need to take those days and to be a little selfish and pamper yourself and to rebuild your energy. But I just want you to be mindful and think of your why, because I think sometimes when I think of my why, it redirects me, and sometimes I may not do some things, or I may go in a different direction in the way I do them. But I also want you to think of your why, because your why is not going to be somebody else's why. And I don't want you, and I've learned I can't focus on their why. I just cannot. Guys, that takes too much energy away from me trying to get a better version of myself when I start to focus on somebody else's why. That's not my purpose. My purpose is not to focus on their why. Their purpose is to focus on their why so that they can find their purpose. My goal is just to simply help people think and coach people into finding their why and finding self-improvement that makes a better version of themselves. So I know there was a lot to digest, guys. You know I talk 90 to nothing. I'm a fast talker. But don't fret. I'll be back and breaking down some more why-isms, as I'm calling them. But just know that you are important. You are loved. Know that in any decision that you decide to take on in your life, whether major or small, sometimes ask yourself why. Just ask yourself why, and then you may come up with your own conclusions. And if you ask yourself why and it's the direction that you want to be headed in, by all means, go for it. I just want you to encourage you as well to judge less and love more, because you don't know why that person did what they did, or why they had to make the decision that they had. And it's not your business to know why. Just love them and keep it moving, So the moral of the story is tend to you and your why, and leave everybody else's why to them to tend to. Don't worry about what they got going on, because a lot of times when we get focused on why we feel like they should be doing something, or why are they doing this, then we lose sight and we lose focus of the very thing that we need to focus on. That's all I'm saying, guys. Is focus on your why and leave somebody else's why alone. All right. That's it for today, guys. I love you guys. Coaching 562, raw and authentic. And remember to love more, judge less, compare less, focus more, talk less, listen more, and remember to always choose you. Peace out.